Hey guys,
Hey,
I was just at the meeting last night.
where are you?
Yeah, at the Marine congregation. It was good. It was Brother Greg Donnelly. You know Greg Donnelly?
Oh, yes.
Brother Judah. Can't remember. There's only two names I know.
So is that your first meeting you coached?
No, I used to study the Bible with Jehovah's Witnesses a long time ago. Yeah. And actually, I got baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I got disfellowshipped for apostasy a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, because I come up to these carts and I film you guys. I'm filming you right now.
Okay.
And it's the difference in the way you guys treat people who come up to you, like worldwide, who've been in the religion and have left the religion, is amazing. Sometimes you're ready to talk to us. Sometimes you lie to the police about us. It's amazing. So it's a fascinating body of evidence that's mounting right now. The way you guys treat people who've left the religion. It doesn't matter what they believe now. It's just the fact that we've left the religion is good enough for you. Have you heard of Have you heard of The Finished Mystery? The last book in that series that Russell wrote. You know that it was taught that Charles Taze Russell was the seventh angel of Revelation? Have you ever heard that? Have you guys never heard that it was taught once upon a time that Charles Taze Russell was the seventh angel of Revelation? Is that news to you? This is what I'm talking about. This is why you're not allowed to talk to us. Anyway, you guys have a good day. Hey guys. Is that not an obstruction of foot traffic? People wanting to get through here to buy tickets and get on the SkyTrain?
They're standing outside the gate, so yeah.
It's okay. Oh, because they're outside the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, but the cart is inside. They're outside.
I guess.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. So do you. So do you.
You know, between you and me, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So
they got the rules down.
I totally.
They probably know them better than the three of us
Yeah.
combined to get away with that stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
So just between you and me, I'm like you. So
Cool, man.
trust me.
Okay. See ya. Good afternoon and welcome everyone to another episode of early 21st century cult members in the Pacific Northwest. We are in the same location of our first episode, the Vancouver Public Square. These cult members are set up in exactly the same spot as the last ones. And the last time we were here, a brother showed up within about 10 minutes to assist the sisters in projecting their faith and their love and their zeal in an effort to ignore the filthy apostate. And as usual, the first step to getting rid of the apostate is to grab the phone.
Well, I can call the brother or I can
This
call the
sister,
brother.
please, I'm not talking to you. I am talking to the people who are going to be watching this episode of early 21st century cult members of the Pacific Northwest. Here we go to the phone. I wonder if this cult member will have the faith to stand here and let me record what she is going to be saying to the police. Yes, hi, officer. There's a person standing in front of our cart. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, God's true servants. You know that, right? You come and assist us when we need you. Yeah, so he's calling us cult members. He's not talking to us directly, but he is disturbing me, and I really, really don't appreciate him interrupting my day in the sunshine while I stand next to a cart and anticipate everyone walking past me dying at Armageddon so I can get on with paradise. Would you please come and remove him? When the police officer comes, I will get to tell him or her that I wasn't even talking to you. So when you call, are you going to call? Is the cult member going to call the brother or call the police officer? I wonder if I were to ask the cult member who they're calling. Obviously, they're not talking to a police officer. Oh, Jehovah, what do we do when the apostates
Okay. Alright, no worries. Bye-bye.
Observe the variety of behavior from the cult members in situations like this. This particular cult member was comfortable standing right here, letting me hear the conversation, whereas 9 times out of 10, typically the cult member will walk away because, again, as you know, Jehovah's Witnesses are quite comfortable lying, twisting, omitting, misrepresenting anything and everything that they can when it comes to former believers. If you don't believe me, just watch elders in court cases refusing to even read their own literature, read Watchtower literature. See, this is now apostate material. In my hand, it is apostate material. In the hand of the early 21st century cult member, it is life-giving truth. What happens? What is the supernatural variation that takes place when literature is in the hand of the apostate? That it then becomes poison. It's going to be very hard for me to turn off my recording device today, ladies and gentlemen, as the sun is very bright, and I have to be able to see the light that lets me know that I'm turning it off. So the only way to do that is to walk away from the cart. And as you know, when you walk away from the cart and then return to the cart, the cult member then gets to say that you're stalking them, that you're invading their space. See, 5 minutes ago, this was a place of the operation of God's Holy Spirit. But if I now leave and come back, it then becomes their personal space, allowing them to call the police and say that I've invaded their personal space. And you have seen that happen on many occasions. So I'm just going to keep recording. If I run out of battery, I run out of battery. But it is becoming an issue. So for future episodes, I am going to have to invest in a second device so that we can record the cult members for longer than we have been. Prophecies that have come true. Remember when these cult members would release information, release new magazines twice every month, and now it's only once every 2 months? Remember when these cult members would actually try to talk to people, engage in informal witnessing and street work? But now this is all it takes, brothers and sisters, friends, ladies and gentlemen, to survive the conclusion of this system of things and live on in a paradise for you and your 8 million friends. All it takes now is standing next to a cart, texting on your phone so that people who disagree with you don't know what you're saying, and then if 2 or 3 or 4 or more of you come, then you huddle into a group, and here comes the brother now. You huddle into your group and have your conversation, projecting how happy you are. I wonder what these cult members were talking about before I showed up. How's it going, sir?
Reading my Bible. What animal do you think I should sacrifice to the Lord?
Good question. No, it's your firstborn. It's your firstborn. Oh, Jehovah, what can I sacrifice for you? So as you guys know, I was at a meeting last night, and I was welcomed with open arms by brother, it's escaping me now, Donnelly. Greg Donnelly of the Marine congregation welcomed me with open arms. I sat through the entire meeting, so if these cult members wanted to call me disruptive, I could prove that I do not disrupt the meetings and that I am not even talking to them. And as you know, this started for me when I was having a conversation, sort of like that gentleman that just walked past. Let's say he and I were to have gotten into a conversation, and we got into a conversation that these cult members didn't want to hear. One cult member in particular, and it happened right in front of Best Buy over there about a year and a half ago, she took out her phone, she took our picture, she started waving it around like Luke Skywalker with a lightsaber, saying, "The police have informed us, directed us, Caesar has directed us to report anyone who harasses us to them." And then she packed up the cart and then she walked away. Hi! Observe the cult members projecting their love for little children in the face of a filthy apostate, reminding them of their behavior about a year and a half ago in front of Best Buy. I wonder if these cult members are in unison praying that Jehovah send a little girl to come take an interest in the literature so that they can project how loving and how kind and how non-threatening and how honest they are in a situation where it suits them. Because as you know, when Jehovah's Witnesses are presented with opportunities to show how honest and loving they are in situations that they're not used to, what do they resort to? What do they resort to? How's it going, sir? I'm not wearing my tie and shirt today, so I don't look like one of the cult members. I wonder what kind of difference that's going to make. We'll see. Typically I'm dressed, but I had other stuff to do today. Unfortunately, there's a rumor going around that one of the original kart crashing masters is going to be taking his channel offline on Friday. I really, really hope he doesn't do that, so that the evidence can mount in the weeks and months to come, showing what happens when cult members are presented with situations that their God Jehovah has not specifically given them direction on how to handle. They'll just improvise. Oh, the birds. I wonder if these cult members are have a bird phobia. Oh, you better call the police on them. Officer, it was a gray individual, 2 wings, 2 feet, a yellow beak, and he or she, I'm not sure, invaded my personal space. I want to press charges. Please ask the pigeon never again to come disrupt me while I'm serving my God. What's a famous bird's name, you guys? I can't think of a famous bird's name. Yeah. See, as I was mentioning, observe the cult member projecting how friendly and warm and loving he is and how they can get along with members of the public. But I wonder if this member of the public knows that if he doesn't start studying the Bible with Jehovah's Witnesses, according to Jehovah's Witnesses, he will be a charred hot dog at Armageddon. I wonder how long it would take for these cult members, if they started studying with that individual, to let him know, okay, so now that you've made some progress, you've had a few studies with us, you've been to a few meetings, you appreciate what God's name is, you know how to pray and be heard by God, you've bought a suit, you're coming to the meetings, you're obviously ready to stop celebrating Christmas. You need to get baptized. You need to get baptized if you're going to be provided with escape through Armageddon. I wonder when they mention that now. Or do they just leave it to the literature to say? It says here that I have to get baptized and become part of your organization if I want to survive Armageddon. Well, notice what it says here in this scripture. Notice what it says here in this scripture. Notice what it says here in this scripture. So what does that mean? Well, that means then you now need to qualify as an unbaptized publisher. You know what? Now that it's been 6 months, you've been serving as an unbaptized publisher. I really like your zeal for the ministry. Your comments are really improving. And here comes the sister. I'm an apostate. You can't talk to me.
Oh, sorry.
So I had to let that cult member know that I'm an apostate. She can't talk to me. Where was I? Oh yeah. So now that you've become an unbaptized publisher and are making fine progress, and you're well spoken of by the brothers and sisters, your family is wondering what's happening to you. Your friends are wondering what's happening to you. But your new spiritual family is speaking well of you. So now that you've become an unbaptized publisher, we are looking forward to your reaching out and possibly qualifying to become a baptized publisher. Now, there is one thing you're going to have to do in order to qualify as a baptized publisher. You're going to have to give us your assurance that you're not going to get your information about us from anywhere other than jw.org or from our magazines. If we find out that you have been visiting apostate websites, you will not qualify for baptism. Do you understand? Yeah, sure. No, why would I want to go to anywhere other than Jehovah for my understanding of his true servants? Right. But, so you're saying if I go to JW Facts, I don't even say jwfacts.com. Don't even say that website, brother, sister. Don't even say jwfacts.com. Don't even say jwsurvey.org. Do not even utter the words Australian Royal Commission inside the walls of a Kingdom Hall. If you want to qualify for baptism, now that you've qualified to be an unbaptized publisher, those words are not to come out of your mouth inside this Kingdom Hall. Well, that sounds a little culty. I thought Jesus encouraged people to be honest about their search for truth. Well, have you or have you not found the truth? You've been coming to meetings now for 6 months or a year. Is this or is this not in the truth? Do you not want to be in the truth? Okay, yeah, I guess I do. I guess I do. Well then, no apostate websites for you. jw.org, Watchtower, tv.jw.org, and that's it. That's all you get. Information Nazis. Hi, Leona. She's not dressed as a sister. So do you guys send out like a blanket APB, stewards to the cart? Because that sister showed up, that sister showed up. Sorry, Brian. Oh. See, I can't walk away from the cart. If I walk away from the cart and come back, you guys get to say that it's an invasion of personal space. When people first come up to the cart, this is an area of God's kingdom that is ruling from heaven. But then if they disagree with you and walk away and come back, this area then becomes the cult member's personal space, and they then get to say that it's been invaded. And you've seen that happen lots of times. I wonder if I offered to show these cult members footage of that happening exactly, that they would watch. I wonder if they think I'm just talking and making it up, or if I've learned a thing or two from doing this over the last 8 months, and that I can prove to them what I'm saying. Notice how I've never chronicled the behavior of these particular cult members, and notice that sister is in the back, texting on her phone, telling the story that she wants, again not letting me know what's being said. This is evidence of true Christian faith, brothers and sisters. Walking away, hiding what you're saying, and when you do make the mistake of letting the filthy apostate record you, we do capture you lying to the police. As all of you observed on Sunday, when I tried to go into the meeting behind that other brother got in between us and called that me trying to force my way into the Kingdom Hall. And you saw another member of this cult just last night tell me that, well, no, a person trying to force their way into an establishment involves a lot more than that. So where is the unity when it comes to dealing with people who've left this religion? There does not appear to be any. There doesn't appear to be any. Because those brothers told me that I wasn't welcome on Sunday, but the brother last night took a real personal interest in me and let me sit through the entire meeting, which I did and didn't disrupt it. So this sister, about 10 or 15 minutes ago, joked arrogantly, well, I can call a brother, I can call the police. Notice her deflated look now. Notice the power she thought she had 15 minutes ago. But I wonder if it's dawning on her that since the time has passed and I'm not even talking to her, that no one's really going to care. Oh, he just won't go away. Oh, I don't know what to tell the brother. What do I tell the police officer? I wonder if they're going to figure out what to tell the police officer, what to tell their fellow cult members when it comes to people like me who aren't even talking to them. Because I have seen it happen where they did take my picture, threaten me with police involvement for just talking in front of them. Now, I ask you, is that faith? Is that mildness? Is that shaking the dust and moving on when the person isn't giving you the greeting or whatever that scripture says? Or is that an exercise of power? Are these cult members hoping to draw people to God's kingdom? Or are they installing themselves in public in an exercise of power? I am one of God's true and only servants. I really, really recommend that you take an interest in the literature that we're presenting to you so you can be just like me and maybe survive Armageddon. See, even my passage through Armageddon hasn't been confirmed. It's still only a possibility. I've been in this cult for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I've been regular pioneering for 20 years. I'm an elder. I've been to Bethel. I served at Bethel. I'm on a first-name basis with the circuit overseer. I take the service group every week. I give public talks every month. And even my passage of escape through Armageddon isn't secure. So even I, at this point of ascending in this cult, am still agonizing over hopefully surviving Armageddon and being worthy of life once everyone else in the world is killed. So if you're going to have any kind of chance that I have, you're going to need to join us in this 11th hour. You're going to need to join us in these final moments of Satan's wicked system. And maybe Jehovah, the God of love, will preserve you alive through the day of destruction. See, it's not just enough to reach this goal, and reach that goal. You're never really sure that you've qualified for life and been pleasing to Jehovah unless you feel that way in the final moments before you die, either of old age or of refusing a blood transfusion in a bed. See? That is when the hamster wheel of being a cult member in this organization finally stops. In the moments before you die, or in the moments before you say, no, I don't want the blood, and you know it's going to mean you die. That is when you know for sure that you're going to be in paradise. All the pioneering, all the comments, all the sacrifices, all the Harry Potter movies that you don't watch, all the apostates that you put up with, that's no guarantee. The only guarantee is that you die. In line with Romans 6 verse 6, you die and you are acquitted from your sins for dying. Between now and then, as a member of this cult, you're just hoping. You're just hoping that your time spent regular pioneering, your time spent saying nothing to one another when an apostate is talking about you to his YouTube viewers, that is going to just accumulate and you'll qualify for life where everybody else, because they don't engage in exactly the same behavior, in exactly the same form of worship, in exactly the same brainwashed, mind-controlled, cognitive dissonant thinking, will not be worthy of life. Not just you won't get a milkshake, worthy of life. We're talking about worthiness of life, ladies and gentlemen. This is what qualifies you to be worthy of life. Having a food truck, maybe making a little too much money, wearing pants that are too tight, not taking an interest in God's invitation to come get to know Him according to the invitation He's extending in Watchtower's eyes, that's not good enough. That is not good enough. Yeah. I wonder if I were to ask these cult members on what basis were the Bible students chosen as God's organization, if they would even venture to give a response. You saw that brother one time give a response. That brother had some faith. Notice the variety of faith. Notice the variations of levels of faith in the cult members in situations like this. Some of them are prepared to give a defense and actually put their money where their mouth is. But unfortunately, 99% of the time, as you have all observed, this is what we get. This is what we get. Cowardice, hypocrisy, dishonesty, misrepresentation, a refusal to accept diversity of opinion, a refusal to be honest about their examining themselves the way they lovingly and mildly invite everyone walking by to examine ourselves. Notice what this scripture says here. Examine me, O Jehovah. Refine me, O Jehovah. Well, what does that look like? Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like getting to the meetings half an hour before, commenting at least 5 times, staying for at least half an hour after the meeting, convincing everybody in between that you're setting more progressive goals for yourself, talking about your trip to Bethel, talking about your plans to go to the International Convention, talking about how great it is to be 2nd or 3rd or 4th gen, or on and on and on it goes. That is what presenting yourself to be refined by God looks like. Anything else just doesn't cut the mustard, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it looks like when a person is sincere about their efforts to present themselves to God to be refined by Him. Any other efforts are really just evidence of a person being misled by Satan. If you're not engaging in the cart witnessing work and going to your local echo chamber to regurgitate Watchtower propaganda, Satan is blinding you. Oh, Jehovah, let me not be blinded. I'm getting a tan. I'm going to have to turn around and get some sun on my face. My neck's starting to burn. Yes, indeed. I'm really sorry about the motor over there, you guys. It's a food truck. It's a food truck over there. Sometimes they're both running, but it's the one across the street that kind of makes the noise. You guys are lucky. The cult members are lucky that the motor is running and that people won't be able to hear what they say. Remember from the last episode, the cult members were standing right there. They were talking to one another, projecting their love and their faith and their zeal. But we couldn't hear what they were saying because the motor drowns it out over there. The musician drowns it out at Burrard Skytrain. So one of these days we will chronicle the behavior of early 21st century cult members in the Pacific Northwest, somewhere where the ambient noise isn't going to block out what they say, if they'll even let us hear what they say. Because typically the cult members will not speak in front of the apostate because Jehovah is protecting them. It's a protection. I'm protecting myself. We're just protecting ourselves, not talking in front of the apostate. Because apostates lie. Apostates misrepresent. Apostates take footage of Jehovah's Witnesses and they edit it and they twist it and they misrepresent what we were saying and doing. So we're just not going to say anything. Apostates are dishonest. Jehovah's Witnesses are the honest ones. You want to know how honest? You want to know how honest Jehovah's Witnesses are? Watch the Australian Royal Commission. Watch Jeffrey Jackson lie on the stand. Yep. Or just watch any number of apostate videos and you can see Jehovah's Witnesses at the local level lying, twisting, manipulating, physically assaulting. I wonder if these cult members think I'm kidding when I say Jehovah's Witnesses have physically assaulted me and I can prove it. You guys believe that Jehovah's Witnesses have physically assaulted me in this city? I'm asking you. Do you think I'm making that up? Observe the cult members not want to answer that question, that's for sure. You know what? If I were in these cult members' shoes once upon a time, a couple of years ago, and somebody put the pressure on me like this right now and asked me that, I would say, yeah, I believe it. You're a jerk. You don't want to serve Jehovah? You don't want to be part of paradise? You don't want to be part of the one and only true Christian organization? That's your choice. I believe that somebody physically assaulted you. You're a jerk. But see, that's not loving. It's loving of them to just stand here. It's loving of them to lie to the police, to initiate physical contact. Hi. Did you just take my picture?
No, not you. Because
Okay.
I'm learning Bible with my
You're
friend.
learning Bible too? Okay.
Yeah, she's in study.
Oh, that's good.
So,
How long have you been studying?
about
2
2 years.
years. Have you qualified for baptism yet? Are you hoping to get baptized?
Maybe someday.
Maybe
I'm
someday.
still learning.
Well, you better make up your mind soon because the end of the system is coming any minute now. So if you want to survive it, you better get baptized. You need to make that dedication. You need to symbolize that dedication so you can step over the bodies of all these people walking by who aren't studying with Jehovah's Witnesses and live forever. I'd get going. Jehovah's speeding things up. He's obviously speeding things up in your life too. So keep studying, get baptized because Satan is powerful. Have a good day. Oh, Jehovah, let that sister dedicate her life to you. Yeah. Okay, so in the early 1980s, it was taking Jehovah's Witnesses about 4,000 hours of preaching to generate one baptism. That is from your own figures. That is from your own yearbooks. Is it apostate filth coming out of my mouth? If I'm quoting Watchtower's own statistics, is it apostate filth? Observe the cult members. Observe the cult members projecting how friendly they are. I wonder if these people shaking hands are also Jehovah's Witnesses. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy Jehovah's sunshine. This is a provision from Jehovah right now. Jehovah has seen fit. Jehovah has seen fit to let these people come and offer some warmth and love.
I applaud you, man.
Check out my channel, XJW. These people are projecting their faith in the face of an apostate who they know is filming them. and they don't really care that this footage is only going to prove the point that we're making. This brother is going to fall over himself to keep this conversation going. These cult members are going to do backflips to keep this conversation going. I was wrong. Notice how I was wrong, brothers and sisters. Wrong about the behavior of the cult members. That's good. Notice how I was wrong. Well, why keep talking to them when their sisters come? See, now it is shift change. So the rotation gets to keep happening in situations like this. Did you decide to call the brother or the police, sister? Bye, J-Dum. Bye, J-Dum. Go get a refill at that Starbucks. That filthy Starbucks. Satan-run Starbucks. But boy, do they make a nice double espresso, extra macchiato, vanilla shot protein drink. So you know what? It's hot out here, so I think Jehovah will forgive a little Starbucks. Oh, Jehovah, it's just Starbucks. It's really hot out today. Yep. So it's about 3 o'clock, 3 something. I don't imagine that these cult members are going to pack up their carts and leave. But notice how this video, again, is proving that in situations where you don't address the cult members directly, they have no power. See, there is no conversation for them to control or to not be flattered by, because this conversation is happening between you and everybody watching. Hey, everybody. So I think we're watching Jehovah's Witnesses short circuit in situations like this. The puffing up of the chest will happen. The phone will be unsheathed, but then you see the confusion in the face of the cult member, not knowing exactly what to say, because technology, social media, people who've left this religion being able to get together and communicate with one another has enabled us to turn the tables on the early 21st century cult members in the Pacific Northwest, at least in these videos. So, Adrian, please do not take your channel down. Please leave it up there so that future I'm Worldlies, future Down with the Towers, future Stacy Lopez's, future Trisha Franginas, future Witness No Mores, and future XJ Dubs can learn from our mistakes and learn from our successes and get these people off the streets. Not because we hate them, but because we want them to be as honest with themselves as we have been with ourselves in leaving this cult. Notice how people who leave this religion, who communicate with one another on social media, disagree with each other a lot. There's a lot of disagreement. There's no unity. But there is one unifying, identifying mark, and that's that we're honest about Watchtower. Are Jehovah's Witnesses honest about everyone not in Watchtower? Are these cult members honest about everyone not in their cult? Are people who've left this cult honest about people still in the cult? Well, you know, it's easy to be honest about people still in the cult because we film them. I wonder if Jehovah is going to see fit to direct the governing body, to direct his people to start filming apostates, so that they can then present footage of us to one another and say, look how dishonest, look how worldly, look how fleshly, look how hateful, look how unworthy of life, look how impure their thoughts are. Because we'll sit and examine footage of you guys in situations like this all day. So actually, I encourage you to film me. I encourage you to film me, and you should film everybody that disagrees with you. You should film everybody that disagrees with you, because by doing that, it's going to force you to be honest, and then you guys can find about what it is to be internet trolled. Internet trolls are a fascinating development in these critical times, hard to deal with. An internet troll will hide their identity, say whatever they want, make whatever criticism they want, remove comments when they prove themselves to be wrong. I wonder how Jehovah's Witnesses would handle the internet trolls on their YouTube channels of footage of apostates. I wonder if these cult members opened up their own YouTube channels, called it Witness for Jehovah, Soldiers for Jehovah, Lovers of God's Kingdom, Subjects of God's Kingdom, Subjects of God's Kingdom 2.0. Let's say these cult members had the faith and the conviction to set up their own YouTube channel and examine themselves in the context of their own two shoes and not in their echo chamber, and they started filming me or filming whatever, or figuring out some form of some kind of content to upload to their YouTube channel. I wonder how honest they would be about responding to the internet trolls. I wonder if these cult members have even thought of opening their own YouTube channel. Oh no, that's a vanity exercise. People who set up YouTube channels are just looking for subscribers and funding, and they've chosen the world over Jehovah. They're just indulging in their own whatever. But I ask you, what's worse? Somebody setting up their own YouTube channel, going out to video their activism, uploading it for free, or somebody getting together with 50 people they know are never going to disagree with them and virtue signal for 2 hours a week. What shows more faith? What shows more conviction in what you believe? To do what apostates are doing? To do what people who are leaving this religion, risking being shunned by their entire families? Risking not knowing how to make friends because they're still so stuck in watchtower thinking that everyone not in the religion is blinded by Satan and is only going to lead them to serve Satan? What about the people who actually leave this religion and don't kill themselves and don't dive into drugs and alcohol and hedonism or whatnot, and who actually figure it out? What about the faith and the love and the courage that takes? I wonder if you were to ask these cult members if leaving this religion, not killing yourself, dealing with being shunned by your own flesh and blood, getting on with life, making new friends, trying to reconnect with old friends if they'll have you back, is just weakness, is just an inevitable roadway to destruction. That's not faith. That's not love. That's not courage. This is faith. This is love. This is courage. That is why these cult members are not allowed to talk to ex-cult members, because we could tell them a thing or two about what it takes to leave this disgusting cult. Disgusting cult. I wonder if these cult members were raised by cult members, or if they were vulnerable and ignorant and desperate at a very young age and got taken in. I wonder if I were to ask them. I'll never be able to get the answer to that question now, but I've asked enough of these cult members enough time to know that 80% of the time, the ones that are still coming to this ridiculous cart and calling it being refined by Jehovah to the point of being worthy of life, that 8 times out of 10, what's the cult member saying? I wonder if we were to ask them where and when they were first exposed to the good news of God's kingdom, if they'd answer. Now that I've said everything that I've said, I wonder if they would say, Jehovah drew me when I was 14. My parents taught me about Jehovah. It's too bad they didn't teach you. Yeah. So you guys are going to be, these cult members are going to be engaging in the ministry and presenting a hard-watered message one day. A message of hailstones. So one day soon, this card isn't going to say, learn Bible truths, take a copy. It's going to say, we tried to tell you, or the end is nigh, or study with us now. Study with us now, everybody, before it's too late. I wonder if this cult member has thought about what that hailstone message is going to be, and I wonder if he's excited to go out and preach it, or I wonder if he's scared to death to go out and preach it because he realizes that this cult is quickly becoming a thing of the past. People know better than to let 8 men in New York do their reasoning for them in the information age. I wonder if this cult member is struggling with the truth about the truth. Or he's just going to feel good. He's just going to feel good coming out here one day when the message is a fiery message of judgment, a hailstone message, and then he's going to stand here, and then we're going to see. And then we're going to see the rebuke. And then we're going to see the faith and the conviction to stand firm and tell me what a filthy Satan server I am. When the governing body tells him, go out and proclaim that hailstone message, brother, then he will. Right? Because that'll be evidence of Jehovah's direction. When Jehovah directs the cult member to say something, then they say it. I wonder if Jehovah directs the cult members to lie to the police. I wonder if Jehovah directs the cult members to violate the privacy and make threatening statements to the apostate that they're being surveilled at night. I wonder if Jehovah directs the cult member to initiate physical contact and then try to say that the apostate was forcing his way in somewhere. I wonder if Jehovah directs current cult members to refuse to be honest about examining themselves unless he's the one presenting them with the opportunity in an echo chamber or in the pages of a watchtower or in the privacy, I won't touch it, in the privacy of their own home and on jw.org. I wonder if this cult member thinks that of the next 1,000 people that walk by, because those are the statistics, 1 in 1,000 people are Jehovah's Witnesses. I wonder if this cult member thinks that the next 1,000 people that walk by are not being as honest as he is about examining himself. I wonder if this cult member honestly believes that. He's been standing here for about 15 minutes, maybe 100, 200 people have walked by. I wonder if he honestly believes that no one who's walked past in the last 10 minutes is as honest with themselves about what's true as he is. This is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with yourself about what's true. No one else in the world, else in the world is in the truth. I wonder if this cult member has thought about when that expression was first introduced to Watchtower cult language, in the truth, because nobody else really uses it. If you guys can let me know in a comment where that happened. You know what, brothers and sisters? Not only are we no longer Bible students, we're now Bible know-it-alls, Jehovah's Witnesses. I think we should start saying that we're in the truth. So when talking to one another about your experience studying the Bible with Bible students and now Bible know-it-alls, I believe that we should start saying, in the truth. So you don't ask one another, when did you learn the news of God's kingdom? You start asking one another, when did you get the truth? How long have you been in the truth? It's so good that you're helping somebody come in the truth. Now, while it is a very strange way of talking, those of you who've been in this cult know how good it felt to say it. In the truth. Like the truth is a grandma's quilt. In the truth. Wrapped up in the truth. The only thing these cult members are wrapped up in, oh, well, fill in the blank. Oh, Jehovah, I have the truth. Thank you for killing everyone standing next to me. I feel bad, but it's your eternal purpose that these people be bird food real soon. I wonder if this cult member would tell me how long I've been standing here, if it's been longer than 50 minutes and my battery's dead. I wonder if he would answer that question. I wonder if I could enlist the cult member to help me not be standing here, not recording. How long have I been standing here? And that's a no. That's a no, Jehovah. Okay. So the good news is I'm running out of battery. And I stayed for a lot longer last time, and I was talking and wasn't recording, and I was really frustrated when I got home. I wasn't able to upload the footage. So I'm going to go now. Hopefully I've captured it all. But you are definitely going to see me again. And I wish you luck figuring out what to tell the cops about somebody that isn't even talking to you.